I'm going to try to do a narration for what I'm doing here. First, let's start off with, of course, some garden soil. I actually dug this up straight out of the yard and just put a little bit in the bottom. You don't need very much, just a tiny bit. And now I'm going to take any kind of clumps that I have inside the soil and just kind of break it up. If you see any sticks or anything in it, you might want to remove it because that organic matter could break down and hurt your ecosystem itself. So be careful with that. Rocks is not going to be a big deal usually. As you can see, I kind of compacted it as well. Next thing I'm going to do here is get this water in the spray bottle and just make sure the soil gets nice and wet. It kind of helps the process. I don't always do that. It just seemed like there was a lot to me, so I kind of made sure it was going to stick together in the bottom of this pot. Now what I'm doing is actually using a home improvement store's kind of like paver base / clay sand. It's really neat. It's kind of got sand and really very small tiny pebbles inside of it that are all kind of different shapes and sizes. I actually end up using it quite a bit as a sand. It's really nice. I really like it. You can see all the different colors there. Now I'm going to cap it with some Fluval stratum. I'm using this aqua soil. I'm not going to fill it all the way to the brim because of my planting and stuff. I'm going to have to add more coverage later as we go along. You'll see in the upcoming shots. I've had a lot of luck with Fluval stratum and nothing special. It's just kind of what I've been able to afford more than anything. Now I'm just patting it down yet again. And I made a freaking mess. Yep, always a mess. Now continue patting it down, make sure it's kind of compacted. It kind of helps with what I'm going to be doing next, which is planting. What I'll be planting next is just a bunch of stem plants. I'll show you here in a minute in this next shot or two. As you can see, the sand and small bits of rock, like pea gravel rock, it's just beautiful. I really like this mixture. And I don't take it all the way to the brim, because for one, it's supposed to be helping maintain itself inside the pot, so you don't want to take it all the way up to the top. And you're gonna have to add more to over time. Now I got some API root tabs. They worked great for me. I don't do anything too crazy with them. As you can see in this small area, I'm going to take like one, break it up into 4 pieces, and that's going to feed this pot for a long time. Okay, looks like I broke it up even more than 4 pieces. So now I'm going to take my tweezers and I'm going to put them down in about 1 inch into the aqua soil. Again, it's not anything precise. I'm just making sure it gets nice and deep because I will be planting my roots, I'll be planting my stem plants just as deep as well. Capping it off a little bit again. As you can see, I just went really light. This is various clippings I have, and I've got Rotala here. I have 2 types, Rotala green, I believe, and Rotala orange juice. So I just took some trimmings from another tank, and I'm going to take them and place them right in. As you can see, there's just stems here. There's no leaves pretty much with a lot of these. There'll be some that will have some leaves, but these are just bare, and they will take off, especially if you give them the time they need. Yep. As you can see, this took a long time to do. What you're not seeing is me. Here we go. There I am. I'm spraying it right here. I did it several times throughout kind of planting these. I didn't do it just at the end. I kept them wet. I also do the wet paper towel method, where you keep a paper towel wet in a container with your stems in it, and it kind of helps keep them and maintain them while you're doing planting and whatnot. Works pretty well. Something you could try out. And again, I'm just capping again. Some more sand, making sure it's kind of there, and then spraying it one more time. And as you can see, I still have a good lip there. It's not overflowing. Now I'm going to put this in actually the 20-gallon Hawaiian tank I had. It's still set up, still going strong, it's doing very well, but this is before I even planted that tank. So I kind of used it to kind of incubate all these plants and let them grow and do their thing. I just put a cheap old hang on the back Nicrew light. No, excuse me, a Hiker. It should be a Hiker light here. I use a lot of lower end lights because, again, that's what I can afford. So don't freak out over buying a $700 light when you can do one with just wonders with under 100. As you can see, there's some purling going on. It's beautiful. And now I'm getting my tank here. It is going to be a Fluval Flex, another version of one. I have two actually. This is my very first tank I bought for aquascaping, the very first time I tried it. Now what I'm doing here is just kind of updating my my filtration system a little bit. I've ran it for a couple years now, so I took the tubing off the pump, and I just bought some cheap tubing from, again, another DIY store or home improvement store. Lined it up, cut it. Next thing I'm going to do here is put it on these fittings, and I even managed to save my zip tie of the old fitting to tie it down, so I'm just using it again. And I was kind of being a bear here, so what I'm going to do is bring out a little bit of flame to kind of heat it up and warm it. You can also use kind of like a heat gun. That would work well as well. A little bit of brute force too. Now I'm just cleaning any excess gunk from that chamber. It has this chamber system. It's kind of like a sump pump system. It works well for what it is. It's a great all-in-one tank. A lot of people have them for a reason. They do well, especially if you're not looking for anything too excessive and overbearing. And this is just some filter floss. I shove it down on the left side there where the the pump is, and then I have my standard filtration foam and biomedia rings. And that is just a cheap Nicrew light, and I cut out the lid of the Fluval Flex because the old light went out. Now I'm putting this on the fish tank shelf. My huge DIY stand. Again, you can see the video of me building this stand earlier play. The sand I'm using here is aqua gold, no, sunset gold from Supernaturals or Carib Sea. Right now I'm just patting that sand down. I just want a base. This is not my finished kind of look here. I just wanted to make sure I had a solid base to place my pots themselves on it. I just didn't want to go right on the glass. Some people do with the Ikebana style, and it looks incredible, but that's not what I was looking for here. Like I said before, I kind of wanted a vibe of like grandma's windowsill with a bunch of old, forgotten pots of plants. And here's the growth. I mean, that's how much it took off. Of course, this is in another tank now because I built the Hawaiian tank. As you can see the reflection of my dog's there. She's always kind of around when I'm doing something. And what I'm doing, I'm just clearing out all these different floating plants I have in this quarantine tank. Those glow light tetras, actually I rescued them. A fish store was closing and I went and took all of them. It was pretty great. So on to the next pot. There will be 3 pots with this build. This is kind of like a terracotta looking pot. Little kind of reddish, kind of orangish color, earthy. Some more standard garden soil. I'm going to just throw a little bit in. I'm not going to go over the moon with this. Again, it's important. Just do a light amount. I'm going to try to do more and more time lapses when I'm building things because it seems to be better to watch back. Again, I know I'm creating this, but I'm also a viewer myself, so I want something that's easy to watch and not overbearing. So some of these time lapses shows everything I'm doing without making it 4 hours long. So hopefully that works for you guys as well. Some more aqua soil after I capped it with the sand. And then more sand. Another hit from the root tabs. Again, small pot. I'm not going to use as much. I broke it in half and only used half of it. Push it down in. Probably throw a little bit more sand on it. Yep. Make sure it's a little bit compacted. What I'm doing next here is also the dry plant method. Again, I didn't really wet this. Found a little ram's horn snail. I'm going to put them back in the tank. This is Brazilian grass. I can't begin to say the Latin name. I apologize for that. I'm just not very good at that. And the method here I'm using is you taking your tweezers, pinch them down towards the base of the plant, holding the stem upright, and it kind of helps me navigate where it's pushing into the substrate, and then I can wiggle my tweezers as I'm finishing to release and then pinch the plant with the sand and substrate. It really, really works. I've always struggled in the past, and this has kind of become my go-to method in order to get a plant into the soil and get it to lock down well. Right here I got a piece of driftwood. It's Mopani, I believe. It might be Manzanita, excuse me. Now I'm dotting it with a super glue gel, an aquarium safe super glue gel, and I'm covering it here, and this is Christmas moss. A lot of people like Java moss, fire moss, Christmas moss. The reason why I picked Christmas moss was because I've used Java moss in the past. It didn't do very well for me. It came out very, very dark in color. Yeah, I should have used a glove. So I want to make sure it kind of pops. Next pot had these geometric shapes on it, and I really thought they were awesome, so I grabbed them. What I'm doing here is putting another piece of driftwood. I believe that's just a piece of spider wood. Again, I'm not really caring. I'm just kind of mixing and matching, making it look how I want it to look. And I'm also taking a piece of lava rock and locking it down in there because I'm not planting anything inside this pot. I'm going to plant it on top of it and around it and on its surfaces. And it's going to be more Christmas moss. Again, as I stated before, I kind of wanted it to feel like grandma's windowsill with 3 pots that have been left alone and to nature, and nature kind of took over, and moss grew and funguses grew and just kind of went wild. And this is what I'm kind of looking for with this look. And I really, really, really love the way it ends up coming out. When you guys see the cinematic shots, it's done really well. Again, it's all low tech, so it doesn't grow super fast for me, but I'm okay with that. Usually if you have slower growing plants, that means a little bit less maintenance. Now I'm placing the main pot in there with the Rotala, get it filled up, and then I place the other 2. I actually had this pot in the flex for about a week before I did the other 2. And I just kind of took off any of the excess floating plants from the other tank. So again, this is about a week from that last shot, and I'm placing the plants from the other pots inside it now. I'm just trying to get a feel for where I want everything. I knew I wanted the big guy about the center. But you don't want it too much in the center. As you can see, it's kind of slightly to the right. That's what I want. And then I just took the driftwood and shoved it down in the soil and kind of locked it in. Now what I'm planting here was something I picked up and wasn't expecting to get, and I took a chance on it. It would be my second time trying to grow it. It's Agrophilia lancia, and it actually melts back. It doesn't grow for me. I don't know why. I just can't get it to grow. I've had it last for a couple weeks and then melt. I've had it only last for a couple days and melt. Now I'm just kind of trimming the Rotala to make sure it's not too crazy, and then replanting. And that's the beauty of kind of stem plants. You keep doing that until that pot itself becomes so compact it just looks like full, just so full. Now I'm adding some decorative gravel. It's just some standard rocks, little kind of pebbles. Move the snails. I try to make sure I don't smash them. I really enjoy snails. I think they're a must in some of my tanks, especially when I don't have the room. In the nanos, they have all kinds of cleaner fish too. Now I'm just kind of dusting in the other sand that I use to cap the aqua soil. So kind of make it look more natural. And then I took a couple rocks and put some super glue on them, and then dabbed some of the Christmas moss on top of it. Again, give it that wild nature.
Okay, so before we get to this final cinematic shots here, I just wanted to make sure I jumped in here and told you exactly what happened. This tank actually kind of had a failure. The plants in the tank itself is thriving. It's doing very, very well. As you can see, I put in 7 sparkling gouramis. And I don't know what has gone on. I've had them in here for several weeks, and then the last 2 weeks I noticed they slowly dwindled away in numbers. So I actually tore apart the tank trying to find them. I could not find them in the sump system. I couldn't find them sucked up into the filtration at all. Couldn't find them anywhere. So I am down to 2, unfortunately. These are kind of things that is just unforeseeable. It makes me extremely upset and questions what you do and how you're doing it. It has been at least 5 weeks, I would say. I've kept a close eye on the fish. They all seem to do very well for the first week or 2. And then right after that, they slowly started disappearing. I don't know what's going on or what happened to it. So I hope in the future to add more fish, but for right now, these cinematic shots that you will see are going to look bare because I only have 2 in there right now with some rabbit horn snails. I did not want to continue to add more fish just to appease YouTube and people watching. I wanted to show you exactly what happens when something like this takes place, and it does happen. So I'll hopefully keep people updated. If you have any questions, hit the comments up and talk to me. I'm more than willing to listen to what people have for theories as well. So I'm kind of at a loss a little bit, but I also am really happy that the 2 that are still alive and doing well are still thriving.